It's now 5:30. I'll want to call the January 8th, 2026 Shoreline Regional Fire Authority Board of Commissioner meeting to order. Could you please stand for the pledge? We've got short. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I don't see any public virtually, none in the room. Any correspondence, Chief? Approval of the past minutes. We only have our special meeting from December 17th. Our meeting from December 18th is forthcoming. We have a motion to approve December 17th.
I'll make a motion.
Oh, that's right. Any changes? Sorry.
Okay.
Changes or anything to it? Hearing none, move on. Oh, that was consideration of the agenda, correspondence. Standing agenda warrants, motion to approve.
I move to accept disbursements in the amount of $5,793,424.05.
The motion made by Commissioner seconded by Commissioner Webster. Any comments, changes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, passes unanimously. Commissioner reports. Barb, do you have anything?
I don't have anything.
Eric?
I have one thing is that I'm meeting with Chief Stein next week on 13th at 10, just on the topic of energy conservation, kind of following up on the questions we were asking previously, and just as a broader thing, I'm kind of hoping that maybe we'll have some sort of department committee or something that addresses that topic. So we're just going to have some initial discussions on that topic. So anybody's welcome to join.
When is it?
On the 13th at 10 at 61.
Thank you. I'd like to hear the outcome of that meeting. David, do you have anything?
No.
Rob? No. Josh? Rick?
Nope.
Anything? I attended the YMCA, I think I already said that. And then we took Santa around the neighborhood, Santa J around the neighborhood Christmas morning. Tears of joy, clapping, shouting. There were a few residents that we went by and they were covering their dogs' ears, but could manage to wave and smile. It was wonderful. I hope that we can extend something like that down towards Kenmore Lake Forest Park too.
Yeah. It's always such a great event. It's been going on for 80 years.
Yeah.
You know, we did receive some complaints. So I'm thinking we could try and modify things a bit, maybe hide the music and muffle the air horns or something a little bit more. It's not a ton of complaints, but it's like almost every year we get a few people. So I'm trying to figure out, I mean, maybe I'm somewhat delusional in that making everybody happy, but it would be nice to not have any complaints and everybody just feel the joy, because it is such a cool event and it's been going on. And we get lots of great, support, for it. So I'm just trying to get away from anybody, having a bad experience.
I understand now.
Can I add to that? I have a neighbor on 185th that called me and she was freaked out thinking there was some major emergency. Years ago when I went on 61, the old engine down there, they had pipe music for a couple of years. And I think one year they actually rented something from Aurora Rents. And one year they were holding the microphone on a radio that was really Mickey Mouse. But
I don't know, the air horns and siren freaked this lady out.
Yeah.
She said it sounded like, it just kept going on and on.
Yeah, I think
I don't want
that
anybody to have a bad experience, and so I'm trying to.
Well,
maybe
yeah,
a
I
little
usually
less
live
with the
next
air
door, so-
horns.
It could probably be a good experience, it's just the lights, not the air horns.
The push, well, of course, there's both sides of each coin and all that. The pushback is, then we get complaints from people that
Didn't
the
know.
engine went by and they didn't even know, and so then they were really
Yeah,
upset,
they
their
can't
kids
hear
are
the
crying,
music. Yeah,
and it's just like, oh,
Probably
goodness.
more complaints than that.
What is
So-
the lowest volume alerting device that we have?
Well, I was like, I don't know, even if we put some rags and tape them over the air horns or something. I like the idea of piping music.
I like the music.
You know,
It's festive.
and lights, and maybe now and then a brief air horn or something. That we're gonna try and come up with a lesser way, but still, again, I don't want to detract from the very good positive things that come out of it.
for the last
I don't
several
want anybody
years,
freaked out.
we have taken the entire Station 63 rigs, all of them. And it's just one big brigade around the
Yeah.
areas. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Are you using sirens?
I'm not driving, but yes. I kept saying, what afterwards. So I think we could personally tone the horns and stuff
Doesn't
down a
help too
little
when the
bit.
kids go out there. and start-
Yeah, that
They're
encourages
they're
even
egging the
more.
drivers.
Oh, I
They do.
got no problem with it. I light out fireworks off the day if I was doing it.
Yeah.
You know they're illegal. in
Say what?
Shoreline. Fireworks are illegal in Shoreline.
Not on New Year's.
All right, moving on. David
Or
Harris is
after
going to
Seahawks
jail.
games.
Is there any strategic activity report?
I do want to mention that we had a good productive meeting and only got probably a third to halfway through it regarding our approach on, well, it's a broader conversation about all capital purchases, but we were really focusing on apparatus right now because, and obviously they're the biggest ticket items on this. And in the past, we have probably, well, I know because it was me, I didn't engage fully with this goes back, 10, before Patrick. We had conversations about coming up with a budgeting process for the 20-year rolling, purchases, and probably didn't fully engage as much as we should with, fleet. And now that we've got Patrick, who's phenomenal and has a lot of this stuff dialed in from a data standpoint as to where we start really breaking things and where it's really costing us, and we're re-engaging with him and coming up with life cycle plans for all of our apparatus to make sure that we're maximizing the taxpayer dollars because they are expensive. And combining that too with the new paradigm of fire engines taking, well, they're coming down, but they're still over 40 months for build. Whereas we used to be able to pull the trigger and say, build it, from right now without any pre-con or anything, in 18 months it'd be here. That's not the case now. It's coming down. It's not 4 years, but it's not 2 or 3 years either. So, so we're trying to build all of that into a new, better, more accurate, because we still have the platform that we have, but we're trying to make it more accurate and more reflective of the environment that we're in now. So,
I didn't really understand what you said.
okay.
Are you
Sorry.
saying that, so you're saying that you're changing the way that you're purchasing apparatus to incorporate the feedback of the fleet division?
Well, we're
better?
really, partially, yes. I mean, part of it is like, okay, I'll give you some more specifics. For example, we have planned on previously of a 10-year frontline fire engine and a 10-year in reserve, and somewhere 20 plus years out, we would surplus it and sell, get rid of it. Is that the most efficient use of the dollars, especially with considering the higher expense now that these apparatus are driving, and the time frame to build them, and the quality of the workmanship and all that. And that's really where Patrick weighs in on it, like, what's it costing us at 5 years, 7 years, 8 years, 20 years, whatever. What's the, if we're speccing it out right and we're speccing out high quality rigs, is there a cost return that's better on that, which there is. Things of that nature, so that we're really kind of thinking about this in more holistic terms. And so one of the things that I have proposed is not doing 10 and 10 and out, but going 12 and 12 and out. Well, what's that mean? So we get 2 more years in frontline service, so that you could say that's a 20% increase in the life cycle in frontline life cycle. That equates to money saved that we don't have to spend on as we turn over the engines and replace these engines. But what's the downside? What is this costing us in those 2 extra years, or the 4 extra years if you're looking at the full deal? And and making sure that we're making good decisions, so that we can come up and I can come back and say, this is our lifecycle replacement, this is our updated plan. And I've been promising, actually, this, Rick and I have been talking about this too for for quite a few years too, of updating this plan. And we've done some updates in the past. It's not completely old, but we would like to update it some more. I'd like to look at some of the equipment replacement, because the equipment costs have skyrocketed, and it's not reflect what's in there may not be completely reflective of the cost nowadays. So I just wanted to share with you that we've started this process in a more holistic way.
Just kind of update the capital replacement schedule and process.
Correct. And really this comes down to, for financial purposes, for budgeting, for forecasting. It's not, if we end up with a fire engine that's broken down and doesn't make it to 12 years, okay, we're going to replace it, or we're going to rotate it out, we're going to do something. But from a financial standpoint, I need to be able to come up and make sure that at 12 years, I've got the money set aside for this fire engine. And, and now more at like 9 years to get it at the 12th year kind of thing. So that's another part of this, is like, where our budgeting, we actually have to front load earlier in if we want a 12-year replacement, you can't buy it at 12 years, you can't even buy it at 11 or 10 years, you got to buy it at 9 years, knowing that, so that shortens some of our windows that we have previously, forecasted on. So. Anyhow, so that's.
Chief, it sounds like it's going to require a more aggressive contribution to capital reserves if our replacement cycle, the purchase of the replacement vehicle is going to happen 2 to 3 years before we actually need it. Then we need to be saving more aggressively so that we have the money to make that purchase.
Possibly. I mean, part of that is like, it's almost a wash of, like, if we extend, I'm going to just keep using the fire engine example. If we use the 10-year previous life cycle and we push it out to 12 years, we're gaining 2 years, to your point, Josh, of the finance piece of it. But we have to buy it 3 years earlier than that. Well, okay, we're not buying it at 10 years, we're buying it at 9 years. We were at 10 years. So we have to weigh all of that and make sure that we're making good decisions. So and we have done some of this. Don't freak out that I have been putting money aside and thinking about these things, but we're taking a deeper dive on it so that we can have more confidence in our replacement schedule.
So the fiscal side will basically still stay at 10 years.
It might. I think, some of these, that's an example on the fire engines, but where we, 8 cars, for example, we hadn't done it, but we had toyed with the idea of moving it from the 7-year replacement cycle to 10 years and try and get some more life out of those. Patrick's saying that that's not a good idea, that will blow up engines and so forth, because at 7 years, it's actually almost 200,000 miles equivalent of use. And so that's where his expertise on this will be pretty instrumental in us, making better decisions. We don't want to be in a situation, like with Seattle, where a third to half of their fleet is down, all the time. But at the same time, I want to make sure that we're maximizing the taxpayers' dollars in the manner possible. This also goes towards, having long-term, vision about, where the apparatus is gonna be, what we're gonna do for the number of reserve fire engines and other apparatus and so forth. It's a pretty, it's a comprehensive look that we're taking.
Are they being rotated based on mileage?
Patrick's, like for example, say, engine 157 compared to engine 164, there's a big difference in the amount of use that each of those engines take. There should be a rotation partway through their life cycle, their frontline life cycle, to try and not completely beat up and be be beating up one and being really nice to another. Try and, if we are replacing these on a schedule, that they're being replaced on an equal basis.
Is there any economy as the potential size of RFA grows, like needing maybe fewer reserve apparatus in total?
And while we're not focusing on the Bothell piece right now, we're really just focusing on the shoreline piece. That will absolutely be part of that conversation. It improves. There's economies of scale across all boards, even personnel, and the flexibility and how many people do we have to have off and vacation and things like that. That's across the board. Certainly, fire engines is one of them. And having a conversation too about our involvement in wildland deployments and so forth for Type 6s. I mean, do we need to keep on doing that, or is that something that that's more of an operational decision too? And we're having a lot of those conversations.
Let's move on to district activity reports. We'll start with Chief Cowens. Anything for Chief Cowan?
I have a question for Chief Cowan. I was just curious about the administrative wrap of staff joining the union. Does that have much impact, or what's the effect of that?
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to figure out what those impacts are. We just got the official notification that it's been approved by PERC. So most of the positions will join the union. One of the HR positions that we're looking at would not, the executive assistant position would not, but the others will. And so we'll have to negotiate with the union about inserting them into the non-uniform CBA, which will be kind of complicated actually, because we're talking about a wide variety of positions, from office administrative staff to MIH people, to fleet people, to facilities people. They're all going to be in the non-uniform CBA. So it's not super complicated from the impact of having to impact 200 people or something like that. But because these will be new positions, we'll have to insert that language in, and what the benefits that that we have for some of our, I'll pick on say fleet, which we pay for coveralls and cleaning of their clothing because it gets dirty, greasy, and all that. Well, we're not going to do that for admin staff, but there's stuff for admin staff that might not pertain to our fleet and facilities people too. So it's going to be an interesting blend of how we're going to have to go about it. I have started the process of looking at what we've already negotiated for things that would transfer over. Not everything would transfer over, but some will. Some of our things that we've already negotiated. We have tentatively set up a date in early February for negotiations on February 10th, I believe. I don't have confirmation on this yet. It was just floated out there earlier today. So we're hoping that in early next month that we can start doing the negotiations on this.
Anything else for Chief Cowan? Let's move on to Chief Hochstein. Even though he's not here under his answer. Nothing?
What's the big public records request?
Same as usual.
Actually,
No.
there's more than that. In fact, I was whining about it earlier today. We've got some pretty extensive public records requests going on, not only from the normal guy that we know, but also from a couple of employees that have made requests because of some of the ongoing complaints that you guys are aware of as well. And some of them are pretty extensive, and so they're very time consuming, and it's really impacted BOFA quite a bit. And even some of the exec team staff, my time, others' time, so. It's on my report as well, just wanted you guys to know that there's an impact.
Never gonna stop.
Hope it at least slows down. Anything else for Chief Hochstein? Chief Orms, we don't have a report from you because you've been on vacation. I hope you had a wonderful time. All right, no old business, no new old business. We'll go on to projected agenda. January, what?
I was just gonna we have another meeting, but I promised I would remind you all that starting next month, we will have for a few months here, we will be here.
Station 60.
And I'll try to remember to remind everybody too at our next
And
meeting,
it's
which
on-
will be at 51.
It is on the projected agenda listed.
Okay, yeah. Beatrice has done a really great job trying to
Yes,
set that all
she
up.
has.
And having Zeb too for programming, for access.
January 29th is legislative day. Chief is going down, myself, Commissioner Harris, Commissioner Nye will be there. Anybody else want to go? It's a Thursday, the 29th. Nope. Should ask Lisa if she wants to go. February 12th, we have a North City Water District meeting scheduled, correct, Chief?
I need to reconfirm that because Diane sent me an email the other day. She did not, we had the conversation, but she didn't put the date down, so now, let me reconfirm.
Okay,
Tentatively, February 12th.
Okay, I didn't, okay.
put a question mark by it.
So that would be, what time of day would that be?
Typically, it's around 5. 5 or 6. We try to match our schedule, normal schedule.
Is that here or at their facility?
I
It's
think it's
here this
here,
time.
so we get to dictate, what time would you guys like? 5, 6? Josh, you probably have the biggest impact in trying to get here.
5:30's okay.
5:30.
Was what, a half an hour last time, maybe 45 minutes?
It's usually about an hour,
About an hour,
sometimes a little longer. It's kind of hard to predict. Should do 5:30, that way you got a little time to get.
I'll confirm that and then send out an invite.
Okay, perfect.
So we need a special meeting?
Is that an official meeting?
It is,
Around here, you know.
because you guys have one more.
I need an absence of that, please.
Okay,
Yes, and
Eric,
I enjoy it, but I'll be working too.
who's that, Rick?
I'll be working, so.
I'm also working on the 12th.
You ever do feedback with the?
There's no decision, so we don't have a quorum, it's not a big deal, because there's no decisions, it's just for relationship building and information. I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh, I was just curious if they were piggybacked on one of the breaking meetings.
We had done that at one point, but we felt that it was too cumbersome. And it constrained, like if we do it before a regular meeting, then finishing the regular meeting, if that one's going long, we're trying to finish it. It just, so we ended up picking off nights.
Kim, I also won't be able to be there unless there's a Zoom function.
That's just not acceptable, Lisa. I can't understand why.
Want me to fly back from Florida for it?
Yes, that was our expectation. Because it'll be held here, there could possibly be a Zoom.
Oh, it's a meeting, though, so that isn't a public meeting.
It is a public
So it has to
meeting.
be Zoom,
Should be Zoom,
Don't have to
Lisa.
offer it, but it'd be good for us to offer.
So if it's Zoom, you'll probably be there unless you're on the beach.
We just talk.
Again, no decisions, it's just an informational
Right.
relationship building.
And then, Chief, we have March 5th on the projected agenda. Quite a few of us will be in Portland.
Oh, is that the leadership summit?
Yep.
Okay. Do you guys want to bump that to the next week?
What day of
To
February? is
the
that?
12th?
March, we're looking at moving March 5th meeting because majority of us won't be here.
Move it to the 12th.
And then the question after that is, do you want to keep the regular meeting on the 19th or move both meetings?
Well, then
Less movement is good because it also makes a special meeting, but it also makes it a shorter week of getting stuff done, minutes and stuff.
Right, yeah, because if we move the 19th meeting, then it's only a week before the next meeting.
Right.
So there's one meeting.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah,
have one meeting.
Why don't we
won't
do
be
one
at the
meeting?
next-
we won't be.
If
We
it's-
could try
it's
it,
on the
we haven't
19th.
done that in a while, but we could.
19th is regular.
Actually, that's a great idea, we could.
We could just do
Uh,
March 19th meeting.
So
The only thing is.
we would cancel the District 4 meeting and the RFA meeting and do just a 16 and an RFA meeting on the 19th.
The only issue with that is what about the warrants? Can they wait till the 19th?
I believe so.
So are we
Okay.
scheduling a meeting for the 12th?
No, I think what I'm hearing is that we're gonna cancel the 5th, both District 4 and RFA, and have one meeting that month in March, and combine the District 16 and RFA meetings on the 19th.
Of March.
Yeah,
So the
Unless you guys-
The 19th meeting would just stand as usual, and the March 5th meeting would be canceled.
yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, we're just having one meeting, but it would be just we would not have a District 4 meeting and have one RFA meeting and 16 meeting.
That works.
As long as a lot of things don't come up in the meantime where it's going to extend the meeting.
How about we revisit this next month
Okay.
and we'll confirm
All
it.
right, okay.
And make because you're right, if there's something that's pressing, maybe we keep one of the meetings.
Schedule don't bring anything up.
Okay.
Yeah, Josh.
When do you normally have your fire registration?
Yeah.
Good point. Thank you, Beatrice. That will be fine, I think, because I want to say that the appeal process ends like on that week of the 12th, and I think the 19th was our hearing already, I believe.
Well, Chief.
Again, we will revisit this next month,
Let's revisit
yeah.
it, okay, because other things may come up. So maybe towards February 19th or the 5th or something, we can
It's a good point,
kind of
Beatrice,
look
thank
at
you.
that. Okay. Is there anything else? 5:59, meeting adjourned. I heard that.
More. Somebody won.